This place is starting to jam, man. And I'm telling you, you guys need to get out here. You guys got to get down here and start spreading the love as far as music, and it's just fantastic. So, right now I am being joined with vocalist Dee from the band Iron Man Band. So here's Dee. Welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you, brother. Good to be here. Always good to be here.
All right, man. So let's start with this. I know when I say Iron Man, when I first heard about you guys, I was thinking guys in metal suits with guitars because of the Hollywood Iron Man thing. So is it, where did Iron Man come from? Did it really derive from like early Ozzy stuff, or what's your motive thinking with that?
Well, actually, I'll take you back even one more. You could be singing If I Only Had a Heart and dancing around like the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz. Actually, Iron Man started in the late 80s as a Black Sabbath tribute. And like most tributes, you grab a song title and that becomes the name. And then over the next 4 or 5 years, the band started developing original material, got signed to Hellhound, first record came out 1993, and the rest is, as they say, history.
So with Iron Man Band, and it was a Black Sabbath cover band and stuff years ago, and were you the front man back then, or did you join the band at a later point?
I joined at the end of 2010. Actually, Rob Levy, God bless his soul, love Rob to death, is here tonight, so I'm sitting at the bar. Rob was the original Iron Man singer when the first record came out.
Oh, that's awfully exciting. So is he going to be getting up on stage and doing a tune with you guys?
Well, I guess that remains to be seen. He, of course, organizes the Stoner Hands of Doom every year. We played Stoner Hands of Doom in Connecticut last Labor Day weekend, and we did bring Rob up to help us out on the title track from the first record, Black Knight, which he was a part of. And a very cool moment, very cool to have him up on stage with me, dueling back and forth, as it were.
Speaking of your music and all that, tell me a little bit about Curse the Ages. What was the whole mindset on that? Was it the current state of what's going on, or was it about history?
Well, that precedes my tenure in the band, but knowing Joe and knowing where his mindset is when he writes lyrics, probably a little bit of both, depending on what he was looking at that particular moment.
That's cool, man. I mean, it's funny because I never really knew too much about the stoner doom genre or classified. How do you classify the music? Do you classify it as stoner doom, or do you not give it titles?
I kind of not give it a title. I mean, there are definitely doom influences there. There's also, I think, a big degree of new wave of British heavy metal in our stuff. It's not all droning and down-tempoed. There's some stuff that's up-tempo. It's kind of mixed up across the board. So a lot of different influences in there, I think.
That's cool, man. Like, I mean, it's with Iron Man, with the new sound that the band has and stuff. Of course, you don't sound like you're not going for the Sabbath sound like you would say like when you're doing the cover band thing. Do you kind of have you ever done any Sabbath covers in the tune of the new Iron Man Band, the new sound?
Not really anymore. The closest thing that we did was at Days of the Doomed 1 in Wisconsin a couple of years ago. After the fest was over, we did a Sabbath jam, and Al and I were on stage and did Into the Void. Musically, it was very Sabbath, but my vocal approach is very un-Ozzy Sabbath, as it were.
All right, so speaking of everything we've been talking about, what can people expect when they see Iron Man grace the stage tonight?
Power.
like holding the Castle Grayskull power, like with the taking the sword on stage and setting the fire with the lightning, or what are we doing here?
I think everything around you that's loose and could blow away, definitely batten it down, power.
Very cool. And, I'm excited, too, because being at an all-ages show and being in Delaware, and this is really the first time that a big festival like this has been in this part of Delaware that really blew up. It's really introducing a whole new generation of people to a whole new music style. And I was talking about it earlier. When I was younger, stoner doom music was not around. It wasn't classified as that. It just kind of came out of the woodwork and reared its ugly horns, and it's here to stay. So I'm happy that you guys are part of this festival. I'm so happy to be telling the world about the Iron Man band. So all you guys over in Europe, if you, I know you got your pulse on black metal. You wacky Swedish people over there, and Germans. You always sound beautiful when you sing. You could be singing about butterflies, and it still sounds like you want to kill somebody. But it's, but I love it all the same. And this is really creating its own niche. Delaware has its finger on the pulse of stoner doom. And what I'm talking about here, guys, is Eye of the Stone Go-To Festival taking place at J.B. McGinnis tonight. $10 gets you in to see 10 bands. Does not matter what age you are. Guys, well, I'm not saying you could be a fetus and have a wristband, but I'm saying, you could be like 17, 18 years old, still get in, have a great time, see some really good music, and not have to stand outside, feeling like you missed out on concert tickets. So speaking of concert tickets, man, I imagine you're not in it just solely for the money. And how do you really profit off shows like this? Is it just the sheer enjoying playing for the masses?
It's a sheer labor of love. I mean, that's the great thing about this scene. Anyone who's in it is in it for the love of music, for the brotherhood. I mean, I love festivals like this because this is where I get to see a lot of my friends. And a lot of my friends, I only see them at shows like this. So that's what makes it all worthwhile. I mean, you hope to move a little bit of merch, put some gas in your tank, and not go home losing money. But I decided a long time ago that if I ever wanted to make money playing music, I'd go and buy a tuxedo, get my upright bass back out, and join a lounge band.
Yeah, that would be a sight. It would be an intimidating upright bass player, my friend.
I used to get it out, middle of the living room, throw on Paranoid, and there's something truly charming about hearing Warpix slammed out on a 3/4 upright.
Have you ever? I can't remember the name of the band. There's actually a Black Sabbath tribute band out there that does everything bluegrass style. It is amazing to hear Black Sabbath on banjos.
I'm not familiar with them by name, but I have heard like Hayseed Dixie, who used to do all kind of metal covers, bluegrass style. Hey, bluegrass is the thrash metal of country, man. Those guys can play to death, man, and it's great. It's good stuff.
All right, Dee, thanks so much for joining us today, brother. I can't wait to see you guys take the stage. Right now, guys, I am going to segue into playing Iron Man, Curse the Ages. So hang tight. We'll be back with some more great interviews and some fantastic music.